Season 2 begins. Right now, our days are pretty simple. Getting outside with the dogs, coming back indoors, keeping up with everyday routines, and slowly tackling the unfinished parts of the workshop. As the year goes on, those routines will change along with the seasons. Welcome to Season 2.
Quite a bit of snowbanks here. It's only like 1 month of snow too. You know, this is our first winter here. Previously came from coastal BC, so quite the weather change. We love the snow, one of the reasons why we're okay to move somewhere like this. But I think they got a pretty good dump of snow this year, almost like 3 feet within a month. And so for a first time plowing, it's been time consuming, but already getting better with after a few plows. I think I've done 6 now. But we're getting better, we're learning. But we plow almost like 30,000 square feet between the driveway and then all the parking areas and around the shop. And it's not like you need everywhere plowed, but just to manage the snow and move it everywhere you need to kind of plow more than what you need to. So you got to push it further so it's not in your way, and then when you do want to walk, you need that plowed, otherwise you'd be walking through past knee-deep snow by this point. But like this berm here is like 3 feet high, and it comes around the corner. And really that's just from me plowing this little area up there, and it's like 3 feet tall and probably almost 6 feet wide. So that's pretty crazy, not to mention all the other areas. But with coming somewhere like this and doing lots of new things, you're bound to learn some things. What I learned from plowing is me putting that ABS and then the gray conduit and even those stoppers that it comes with. I did that way too early in the season. Even those first couple times I plowed, I really should have been driving on top of that. So if I installed those pieces now, it would probably work, but back then, just over the coarse gravel, definitely not, just way too much vibration. But I learned you're supposed to kind of compact it down first, and you actually want this hard snow. Like, you can still see some rocks through there, which happens, but I guess, you know, that's just not really where we drive. Even here is more, like, not more, it is our driveway. So here's like totally compacted. So if you put your black ABS or the gray conduit on the bottom of the blade now, it would work. But when I did it before, on the very first plow of the season, second plow of the season, there's not that compacted base yet, and so everything just gets beaten up from the rocks. And that's why I had my issues, so it's okay. You pay to learn one way or the other. You're gonna pay for it somehow. The shoulder from, you know, plowing into the banks to try and push the snow up as high as you can, because it's not like a skid steer or anything, or any sort of tractor where you can lift up and push the snow further. You can only really push it, and so that's probably why, you know, the banks don't get super tall, but they get deep pretty quickly. So even now, it's like if I get another several feet of snow, like, it's not gonna be room to push snow. I know we've been looking at a snow blower as well. I've seen people plow the snow in the middle, and then just blow it up out of there. So if this keeps up, that might be on the list. So yeah, lesson learned. Make sure you have a pretty good base before you try adding any gizmo to the blade. Got a warmer day. It's obviously a new year. Happy New Year to everyone. 2026. We had a busy month with our business as well in December, so that added to why we haven't been working. So it's been nearly 2 months. It's nearly been 2 months since we worked on the workshop. I'm getting things cleaned up so I can get in there and get the floor finished up and back on track. We're excited to get our hands dirty in that again. Just get it wrapped up because we need to move in there. We need the space. Need the space. The homestead is growing, per se. Octavia's interested in hockey, so we got hockey skates and sticks and gloves, and we're gonna hit the ice rinks here. Luckily it's sponsored by the big companies, so it's free ice skating at selective times during the day, which thankfully we can make. So I'm gonna take the opportunity to take her as much as possible. It is kind of more of a semi-year-round thing, so we can do lots of it, but when your kid wants to learn something and they're not even 6 yet, you gotta enjoy those times with them, because that time is gonna fly by way too quick. Another reason why we moved out here is to spend time with her, but lots of reasons. It's beautiful here. Look at this background. Look at it. Look at it. There's so many nicer trees back over where we haven't even accessed yet on the property. I hope to explore a little bit more this winter, but it's also very deep snow now, so maybe once a bit more of it melts. We got too much work to do, so yeah, that's okay. Oh, Teddy! It was a nice day, so we brought Teddy out to his enclosure where he was supposed to live, but he had frostbite on his ears earlier in life, and so his ears, I don't know if you can see him down there meowing, but his ears, he's missing part of them, so he's missing the tips of his ears. And when it was like super cold, -20, even with his insulated box, his ears were getting very red, almost looking like they're bleeding. And so we had brought him in the house. We didn't think it was really going to work with our 2 dogs because they're crazy. And one of them just chases cats for sports, but luckily all the cats, all the animals, the dogs and cat included, enjoy their kennel time. So we've just been rotating them back and forth. Dogs get to come in the bedroom, cat has a roam of the house at nighttime. The dogs are slowly getting introduced to them. You know, it'll be our hopes down the road that they can get along out in the open, outside together. So yeah, Teddy, let's come have a little look. But here's Mr. Teddy. And what we didn't previously get, what we had, is these little chicken coop brooders or heaters, and they put off some heat. So at least now he can come up here and get warm. And there's also one in his sleeping quarters. We're going to attach it to the roof, and that would probably make it better. But you know, when it is -20 out here, it is cold. It's -20 out here. This doesn't give him, it gives him a bit of a windbreak, or it does give him a windbreak, but it still gets cold. And I know, give us some clothing and stuff, and at some point we would not want to stay out here either. So we totally get where he's coming from. Teddy is a super sweet cat. He is snuggly. You can pick him up and pet him as much as you want, which is awesome in a different way. Still to be determined if he will be a mouser. That will be more in the springtime when he gets that opportunity, but he's becoming such a great house cat. And technically, where we want protection the most is in our house, and that is where Teddy is. So if anything were to infiltrate that, he is on the job. Although the hopes of barn cats and everything else is that the mice don't even reach your house to cause an infestation or problem. But knock on wood, after we moved here and got rid of one, it's been good since then. Nothing. So, but Bear did an amazing job in the summertime, probably dealing with things. But even from plowing the snow and disrupting some wood or disrupting some snow and stuff, I've seen some mice run from probably burrowing under the snow and everything. So they're out there. Teddy, let's give him a. Oh my gosh. How good of a kitty cat are you? You do love the outdoors. Teddy, how good of a kitty cat are you? You're a real good kitty cat, aren't you? You are. He's been more interested in looking out the door and everything too. I left the door open this morning and found him out sniffing out the barbecue. So he was an outside cat his first year of life, and so he definitely has the want to explore. But when it was minus 25 or so, we'd open the door and he'd get one sniff of the cold air and just turn around and be like, yeah, no. But as soon as it got warmer, like minus 10, 15, he's into that. Oh, you want to nibble on me a little bit? Hey? I'm giving you pets. He likes to just bite your hand in his mouth and then let go. Oh, good boy. Papa's got to get back to work though, so we'll see you in a bit. We'll bring you inside when it gets dark, okay? Oh, such a handsome boy. We are back. I spent some time cleaning up. I know there's still a dumping ground here. There's a lot of things I need, different things. But at least I cleaned up a little walkway across there, and we have clear access there. Cleaned up all the crap on the work table from a couple projects. Put my light up real high there so I can get light in the far back corner. We're going to continue putting those blocks in to there. And then plane the little high bumps and start putting insulation in the floor. Woo! Insulation! Like I was saying, we kind of need to pump ourselves back up to get back into the groove of this. New year, time to go. We are finishing the workshop this year. That is for sure. It's going to be done. We're going to be running our business out of here. Hopefully sooner than later. There's obviously a lot of work to do. I figure probably like a month of solid work in my man hours. But of course, you always think things will go quicker. But yeah, we're going to get her done. So let's work warp speed and get after it. Take our handy dandy block, put it in here, push it to the back. Oh, I must use these clips for something different. Get the old hammer just to make sure it's seated back there. Yeah. Finish tightening it up. As I previously mentioned, this should be sticking out 1.5 inches just to make up for the thickness of the rim board on the outside. So that gives us a good point to screw our subfloor down into, on top of into each joist. It is just too sunny for those thin trees. Need to get behind some bigger spruce trees there. Maybe it won't be as bad, but oh, there, the eyes can rest. We have another beautiful day out here. I know it's not for everyone, but these crisp mornings or days when it's cold and winter and there's snow everywhere, but the sun is shining, they truly are magnificent and beautiful in their own way. So something you miss in a way after living in coastal BC for 15 years. Finally back into the northern cold climates, but just gotta appreciate having sunshine, snow. It's beautiful, it's magical, it's fun to play in if you're into that. So yeah, let's get after it again today. Let's go finish off what we started yesterday. Yesterday was a big cleanup day. Now it's getting some work done. Okay, well that's this whole section, getting these blockings done now. Now I just need to do around this last 8-foot section around there. But first, as I previously mentioned, I am going to get any high points planed out, and so I can add insulation here. And then when I put the OSB flooring back, we are gluing and screwing it down. Although first we also have to do the vapor barrier. So insulation, vapor barrier, which I have to figure out how that's going to work with the whole length of the building, and then glue and screw our first layer of flooring down. We have our second layer of OSB flooring sitting outside. It is covered, but it's cold and snowy out, so hope it's all good. You know, they cover it like that at the hardware stores, lumber stores there too, so I obviously just thought I would have had it in by now, but such as life goes. We're going to get her done now and get the last of that material inside. Also, what I just realized is the remaining 2x6 pressure treated that I need to finish that side that I just talked about is under a larger amount of snow that I kind of shoveled snow on top of. So I'm going to have to dig that out. So I'm going to have to dig that out and get that out in the next week here. So that would be fun. Okay, so really I'm not going to be worrying about planing like that extra length there. It's really this middle section where I have my blocking and also where the two 12-foot pieces joined. You can see this one's coming from there and that one's coming from the other side. So it's those joints and mainly my blocking that I probably didn't put in the best, that I just need to plane down a little bit of those edges there. So really I'm going to be worrying about this length here and that little length there. And I do have my 5-foot level set up. I got it across there, and I must say, for what this all went through, that is very much level in my eyes. For everything that this building went through, I'm very happy with the level of it. As you can see, when I bring it across, sliding it here, it hits this blocking here. So like almost all of it, mainly from here to here, is definitely high. And I don't think this camera picks up fine details, but you can see it elevated right there. So I'm just gonna take the time to go over with the planer, another new tool for this specific project. So add into the collection and get to try this guy out. I got it just set to a 16th right now, and I'm gonna do that and see how it works out. Alright, well there's a finished masterpiece. So I'm gonna clean all this up with a vacuum or even a broom I might be able to do. But planed a little bit, it was high up on here. I realized it's taking a pretty big cut. I was looking at the dial the wrong way. I thought I was on one of the lower cuts, but I switched it over to 1/64th and did several more passes, and that was a lot better than trying to take one big pass. But yeah, I can slide the level across it pretty good. So I'm just gonna move my USB over and get after the other side. And then I should be good to go insulate all this area and just kind of keep working away that way. This side's not too bad. I just checked it. Really, it's just this little lip here. Just kind of get snagged up. But then after that, we're good enough. So I'm just going to take this little lip off here and it should be good to go. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's what we want to see. That's it for that. I got to run out and get some more of the pressure treated paint over because obviously I'm taking that top layer off. I had a little bit left, but it froze, so that's not good. So get a new can, and anywhere I've gone over, I'll add a little coating before I add insulation. Get our vacuum. I'm gonna clean up on this. It doesn't need to be perfect, but I want to get majority of everything out of there. I'm sure I will go over one more time, especially before I lay down the insulation, which is coming very, very soon. So that's exciting because that's like a monumental moment. Getting some insulation in the flooring. Yeah. All right. Ciao for now.